Good afternoon. Hi, everyone. I trust you're well. It's Sunday, the 28th of August. And yeah, it's past 12. And I trust you're well. It's a bit windy here and it's a bit chilly where I am in Richards Bay. I don't know where you are, anywhere in the world or in South Africa, how the weather is. But I just want to welcome you and say this is an awesome day. And any day when you wake up, we just have to appreciate the gift that we've been given, that we're still alive. So that is the first thing that you could do. Who am I? I'm transformation coach Mashudu Mbhele. Others call me Ketiwe, others call me Tieni. So I'm fine with that. You can call me by the name that you feel comfortable with. I'm also a negative emotional therapy practitioner. So what do? I help people transform their lives. I help them to be intentional in how they are living their lives so that they can be successful. And I also help them to get rid of their emotional and mental baggages, also their negative belief systems that are sabotaging their lives, because everything happens in our minds and in our thoughts. And we always say our thoughts create. And you need to ask yourself, what are you currently creating? Are you creating lack? Are you creating trouble? Are you creating success? So everything starts with you, with your mind and your thoughts. And who do I help? So I help people who've got procrastination issues, people who've got issues with their relationships with self, and also procrastination, depression, or someone who's going to the list is endless, or someone who feel like they're not worthy, they're in the brink of saying this hasn't worked and they don't know what to do. So I help people who've got such issues so that they can be better people, so that they can show up and be exemplary and feel fulfilled in their lives. So it's basically creating that transformation. So that's what I do. So what is join the conversation? Join the conversation. It's where I speak to different women from all walks of life. So today is the 29th, and so far I've already spoken to other 20 remarkable, phenomenal women. And if you haven't listened to the conversation, go to my timeline or go to my YouTube account, which is Mashudu Mbhele, and listen to those conversations. The conversations are there to inspire, to empower, and to plant seeds. And it doesn't mean the people that I'm talking to, they're experts, but they're just sharing their learnings and their journey. And I believe your story or someone's story can help you, can heal, can just create that aha moment or awakening. And I've seen with the previous conversations the feedback that you are receiving. So if you are here from Facebook, welcome, guys. I'm just introducing myself. And then from YouTube, also welcome. So it's all about that. And it doesn't have to end here on this Zoom session or on Facebook or on YouTube. You can create those conversations wherever you are. With what is happening within our country, we need to start creating those conversations, having those courageous conversations, planting seeds so that the generations that is coming through, they don't go through the challenges we have been through. They need to go through new challenges. And having these conversations and sharing our journey helps us to create the future that we desire for our future generations. So if you feel like you want to be part of this or you want to create it or and you don't know what to do, just send me a message and say, how do I do it? But it doesn't end here. Continue creating those conversations in your stock fields, in schools, in your homes, with your siblings, with your sisters. Just communicate and educate them. Because at the moment we are the government, we need to change what is happening. We cannot say we're going to wait for the government to come and create that education, and it starts with us. And we cannot leave it to the schools or to institutions. So it's up to us in creating those things. In the past, we like now we are losing a lot of elders. They used to sit down with their grandkids and having those conversations. So we can do it. We can resuscitate that, and this is part of that. So I trust I've challenged you and to start those discussions. So also, I'm also part of WAY, which is Women Emancipate Yourself. Women Emancipate Yourself, it's an organization where we empower women, we support each other. And this is also part of empowerment, having joined the conversations. So that's it from me. Let me introduce my guest. Can she introduce herself so that she can tell us who she is and what is she all about? Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. Where do I start? My name is Lwandile, Dina Lwandile Onika Mohale. Um, I'm from Polokwane. I'm a transformation life coach. I'm a breathwork facilitator and I'm a breathwork practitioner in training. I'm all about consciously connecting with life in introspection, in breath, and in change. In that change and with that transformation that comes, it helps us to develop better, to make better decisions, and to be mindful about the kind of life that we want to live. You know, from unlearning all the things that are not supporting where we want to be and where we are, and acquiring new skills and new ways of navigating through life, learning new ways of being, you know, and also the most important thing is being present with everything that I do, being present with myself, with my family, with the work that I do. And that helps, that element of presence, it helps me to enjoy every moment as it comes.
Thank you for sharing that. And I would like you to expand on breathwork. You said you're a breathwork practitioner. For someone who's asking, what is that? Can you just expand on what breathwork, being a breathwork practitioner, what do you do?
Okay. For those who are unfamiliar with breathwork, so breathwork is about consciously connecting with breath, either to regulate or to claim your breath back to whatever situation that you're going through. So what you do, what happens then is we breathe. For as long as we have life and as long as we are alive, we have breath in our lungs. However, our breath might not be supporting our health and our breath might not be supporting the situations that we are going through. So in case of panic, in bringing calm, this is where consciously connecting with your breath and communicating with your breath to regulate to whatever situation that suits you in that moment, that's where breath work comes in. Because when you're tired and you need, not even when you're tired, but when you need to calm down in a panicky situation, your breath can take you to a place of calm. You observe, where am I breathing from? The awareness of where am I breathing from? Which chamber of breath am I using? Am I using my lungs? Am I using my diaphragm? Am I using my belly? Where does my body supports me with that breath for me to be optimally living my life? How is my sleep through, how is my breath impacting my sleep? Or how is my breath supporting my sleep? So those are the kind of elements that the body of breath work brings into people's life through breath work, to consciously connect with your breath through awareness, through regulation, and to be able to transform your life to a healthier space of being through your breath.
So I hear you. So let's say currently, maybe just share with us. I've got, let's say I'm feeling anxious now and I'm all over the place. What is the one thing that I can do in terms of breath? Because you just said the breath is so powerful. What can I do? Is there anything that you can share with us?
Yeah, the first thing is to sigh your breath out from wherever you are in that moment. Just sigh it out. Release what you have. Help that sigh out. And when you sigh out, you are able to assess and observe your breath. okay, to observe your breath and your awareness. Okay, where am I breathing from? Am I breathing from my chest? Okay, am I using my accessory muscles? Okay, I'm tensing up here. And if I'm breathing from my chest, there's no way I'm going to calm down. So what you then do, you breathe in and out to regulate your breath so that your extended exhales are able to calm you down. Then you allow your breath to slow down through your inhales and your exhales. Those will control your calm. But you observe your thoughts, but you connect with the breath. So you observe your breath, connect with your breath slowly with your inhales and exhales, observing your thoughts and not judging them, but allowing your breath to regulate your body. So when you do that, you allow your breath not to come from your chest area and using your accessory muscles, because now you want to calm down, so you're going to breathe from the belly. So when you regulate your breath to breathe from the belly, that panicky motion of short breaths that are tight squeezing are now relaxed, extended from the belly. So when they extend in your inhale and your exhale, it allows your body to calm down.
Thank you. So I did the sigh as you're doing. I trust everyone who's watching will be also listening to this. Do try it and just feel it's so liberating and so relaxing. I enjoy that. Thank you for sharing that technique. My further
Another tip. Sorry,
yes.
another tip. You know, we've always thought that when you yawn or when you sigh, you are bored. But that's how you regulate your breath, okay, from whatever moment that you're in. You not regulate, recover. You use your yawn and your sigh as a recovery, okay? So when somebody else is yawning and you're in a meeting and you're presenting, just allow them to have that moment for them to recover their breath with their body wherever they are in the moment. It has got nothing to do with you and your presentation. It's just their breath recovery. So when we are recovering our breath, it's communicating something towards us in that moment. So it's not about being tired and it's not about being rude. And if you observe someone yawning, encourage them to yawn. And if that yawn mirrors something towards you as well, thank them for mirroring that yawn and just yawn and recover that breath and just connect with your breath at that, because that is the most refreshing and breathful feeling things that we go through that we take for granted. Our yawns and our sighs, we're like, okay, now don't dread them, embrace them. And when you get into the habit of doing that, you will see the change that it does to your breath after that yawn, to your mood after that yawn. Okay, what am I observing in this? Oh, yeah, okay. This is what I needed. So yeah.
So guys, you have learned we need to embrace our yawns and our sighs, and we shouldn't judge, because we've been conditioned that when you see someone yawning and sighing, you feel like they're disinterested in what they're doing. And we never knew that it's the power of our breathing and the power that we've been given as human beings. So thank you so much for that. My further question is, what is your message to us on this awesome Sunday?
My message to women out there, young and old, trust your intuition, trust your gut. Listen more to your body. Listen more to what your body is saying about your surrounding, what your energy, what the communication of what your energy and your body is communicating without words. And once we allow ourselves to listen more, we find ourselves in less sticky situations that are unfavorable to us in any moment, because we often speak in hindsight than in hindsight of regret than in hindsight of liberation, to say, oh, I should have. So I felt something was not right there, but I didn't. So when you feel that moment of a, a nudge or communication of the intuition or a soul communication towards something that is of your best interest, even though you don't know what it means in that moment, trust in that those silence communications, and then try and see and try and find a way, because it doesn't come easy, but it comes with practice of, okay, I've observed this happening, I felt this way, and I acted towards the feeling of what was that in that moment. And I found that it saved me from maybe an accident happening had I left 5 minutes before. And we're like, oh, the aha moment was that I was saved from that happening to this moment right here where I am grateful for life. And when that happens, it allows us to slow down and tap into our higher beings, because when we are allowing ourselves to move in this conditioned way of fast is better and busy is better, without truly being connected to your authentic self, this is where we now lose the essence of who we are and the power of what we need to imprint in our lives, in our families, in the work that we do. We forget to be present, and when we forget to be present, we forget to lose to leave the soul print that we were meant to live in the moment. Like, say it's in this conversation, there was something I felt like saying to you, but I didn't say it, and it could have been of importance to someone else. So those are the things that we need to be aware of in terms of where we share ourselves, in spaces where we share ourselves with our families. Are we being our authentic selves, or are we being what we think the world would like us to be? Because what the world projects on us leaves us with so much fear that we lose the essence of who we are. And we lose the essence of who we are, we don't come across leaving soul prints of who we are where we need to be them.
You mentioned being authentic self. So someone, for the first time, they hear such words and they've been hearing them and they're asking themselves, what is being authentic self? So how does one become their authentic self?
It's a journey of evolution. It's a journey of learning and relearning. From a young age, we all know that we love different things. It could either taste of clothes, taste of shoes, taste of music. Those are the things that one needs to be aware of. Okay, what am I listening to in terms of music? Am I listening to what I'm showered with, or am I listening to what speaks to me or what I like? What music am I dancing to? So those are the things that are bringing you closer to your authentic spirit self, because they connect more with you individually than it does with the masses, because you are not the masses. You are a beautiful soul, single print, a unique blueprint of you that is not identical to anyone. We might have threads of commonality in terms of experiences, in terms of taste, in terms of experience. Like, it could be different things. It's a thread. It's not a print. Our identical print, we don't have an identical print. We have an individual print. So our individual print speaks to the different threads of magic and prints that are authentically us. And when we deny ourselves the beauty of being us authentically, individually printed, uniquely printed, we deny ourselves the soul, we deny ourselves the soul spirit opportunity and the soul spirit experience and celebration towards the expression of our lives. Because what I always say is if God calls me home today, okay, or in the next 15 minutes, have I been living the life that speaks to me, to my soul, or have I been living to make other people happy in terms of how they see me or how they will want to experience me, and I suffocate myself of living life through the experience that I fully enjoy. You know? It's like going to a restaurant with your family and you choose food for your kids, and they're like, but I'd rather have pizza. Like, no, how about you have a duck? And you're like, no, but I'd rather have a pizza. So we do that as adults, as teens, as we do that because we think, okay, maybe I should have a duck because it will make mom happy. But I don't want to have duck. I want to have pizza. So it's like I don't want to do A, B, C, or D. I want to channel. I want to go hiking. I want to go bungee jumping, and somebody imprints their fear of heights on you for you not to enjoy that experience, to not to enjoy that moment. Those are the things that shake us from the core of who we are in terms of our authentic life experiences.
So as you're talking, it just made me reflect. So the question that I was asking, that you asked, have you been living the life based on that speaks to you? And you mentioned the kids. I remember last year during lockdown, my daughter just, when we have dinner, she'll tell us, no, she doesn't want to eat like this, she doesn't want that. And having grown up being told you need to be grateful there's food in the plate to make sure you eat it, and having those courageous conversations with her and my husband, it was just interesting doing to let go and let her be and her to decide what she needs, what she eats. And now it's no longer a hoover. If she doesn't want to eat, we let it be. She'll just have a glass of water whilst we're having dinner. So it's also the conditioning that she's mentioned that affects how you live and how you become a conscious parent, and asking yourself of, are you living the life based on your parents, or are you living the life based on you? I also had, oh, it was yesterday, one lady who I sent a, I did a recording on Let's Talk About Depression, and she was just telling me her aha moments and the reflections of saying there are things that were mentioned in the recording that she needs to confront and speak to her parents, that she's not the person that they want her to be. This is what she needs to be. And she's ready to have those conversations, because at times we grow up, become adults, we don't live based on what we are here for. We are not authentic. We say we are authentic, but when you sit down by yourself, you realize you have robbed yourself. So,
Yeah.
so the question I have is, as she said, let's say you're about to die in 30 minutes time, what would you do differently in this next 30 minutes? Or if you're gonna die in the next 7 days?
You know, you know, I've 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 had the joy of peeling off the layers of the onions that don't serve me. I've had the honor of doing that to a point where I am grounded in the being that I am in this moment. If I live for another 50 years, I will still be on that journey and the transition and the evolution and the joy and the pain of it all. But I have come to know the essence of my being here. The pain of it, there's a certain joy that comes with it. But if I don't learn from the lesson, that's where I persist on holding on to the pain and bringing the pain with everything that I'm doing. So I've learned to be present enough to enjoy the moment, to enjoy the pain, to take the lesson and still move forward and still plan and still live with hope and faith, as if I have not lost, as if I have not been hurt. The looking forward of the experiences with joy and with faith and with hope and with the same element of passion into it, as if it has not failed in the previous 2 years or 2 days. It what keeps the magic going to say, okay, this breath right now allows me to evolve differently. Where I have fallen and I have gasped for air, that air that has allowed me to get back that rhythm will allow me to move differently. And how I exhale, that if I extend that exhale, I'll be able to relax. And if I relax, when I take in that inhale, I bring in the joy of everything else that I'm dreaming about, that I'm taking in. And when I let it go, I allow myself to be in the moment. So that's how I move differently now. So that's how I enjoy it now. So that is how I have come to experience life and death, with losing family members, with going through life. We lose things. We lose family. We lose possessions. We lose a lot of things. We lose ourselves, even in the moment of crisis. We lose the idea of what we have built up in our heads or in our minds, according to what we have and where we think we see ourselves in the next 10 years or 5 years or whatever. But the one thing that I have learned through loss and through pain and through the evolution of what life magic built it up to be, is that life force of breath that comes in that you breathe in when you are born, okay, and the life force that you breathe out when you die, that in the middle of the inhale and that exhale, there is so much magic that goes into our lungs, it goes into our brains, it goes into every cell of our bodies, like that carbon dioxide that we breathe out and that oxygen that we breathe in, and that carbon dioxide that is breathed in by nature, and the oxygen that is breathed out by nature that we take in. That is the exchange of life that I've learned, that through everything that I go through, with people, with work, with kids, family, it's an exchange. And that exchange, how am I taking that exchange? That exchange, we know that breathe out carbon dioxide, but when you are not well vested in the work of breath, you do not know how much carbon dioxide you actually need in your bloodstream to actually have healthy, flowy blood and organs through you. So when you know that balance of what's good for you, what's bad for you, how much of it you need, how much of it you need to hold on to, when loss comes, I don't hold on, I let go. And when I'm taking up new experiences, I'm not taking in those new experiences with fear. I'm learning. What I don't know, I don't. I'm learning. And if I want to experience myself as a master in that, I will take myself in those moments, and where I fail, I'll observe what were the lessons. And when that time comes for me to let go of whatever that is, whether it's an exhale of breath or whether it's a moment where I'm confronted with my mortality, I reflect. I reflect with grace. So essentially, when we go to sleep, we don't know whether we'll wake up, but we are hopeful that we will wake up. So when that time, so for now, where I am, the fear of what death is and what I would do life different doesn't come up anymore. It doesn't come up anymore, because right now where I am, I'm grateful that I have peace and I'm calm. In this moment, I have peace and I'm calm. Do I have life altogether perfectly? Hell no, I don't. But in this moment, I have peace, I have calm, I have love in my heart. That's all that matters. But that is not to say that difficult times don't, they do come. But when they do come, I mourn them as they are. Whatever that I need to release, I will release, but I will not release without confronting and seeing what the value of it for me was. Because when I don't do the confronting, the reflection, then I'm allowing myself to push through things and shrug things off as if things are not important. And when they come back, they'll come back 10 times harder than they did in the first moment because the lesson was not learned. So that's how I now move differently. So fear for me, it exists, yes, but moderately. It does not overcome my life. And it has allowed me to reflect on things. How am I allowing the universe to support me? Am I grounded enough for me to be vulnerable and strip off the comfort of what I think makes me as a person to not connect with the universe, but yet I'm expecting the universe to connect with me. So those are the reflections that I make. Like, okay, how comfortable am I within myself before I want other people to be comfortable with me? So that takes away the fear of belonging, the fear of being accepted, the fear of being validated, the fear of um, being perfect in other people's lives, because I reaffirm myself and I validate who I am for me to make sense, for me to be comfortable around other people.
Thank you for that. And let's say that someone was listening to that, to you, what you just said. What did you do to be in a space or where you feel peace and calm? Can you just share a small journey what you had to do? Someone says, I hear you. You are there. I aspire to be you. What can I do?
I had difficult conversations with uh, the people around my family, my parents. I had moments of mourning. I had nights of crying. And not only did I cry, but I wanted to cry to change. I didn't just want to cry and make things perfect or make things nice. No, it wasn't about a journey of being nice. It was a journey of, okay, this is not working for me. My life as it is not working for me. What do I need to get? Okay. I got breathwork practitioners in. I got all the help that I needed because I knew that the work that needed to be done, I wouldn't be able to do it alone. I got in professionals to help me to get to this point. But I was also willing to do the work, because when you're willing to do the work, confront the ugliness and the light and the darkness of it all as it is, you allow yourself to find that peace. But when you just want to see the light, the rainbow, and the magic and the stars, you will not confront the ugliness that comes with it, because the yin and the yang, it's the light and the darkness. So when you don't confront the two together, for you to find yourself in the middle of the storm, like right in the middle of the storm, but calm in the storm, you won't be able to find yourself in that moment when you don't want to intertwine that, because there are still points in the messy rubble of what life is. There is still moments of calm that are just beautiful. And when you observe at those rough seas, you can see the beautiful waves. But if you are in the middle of the rough sea, the wave can overcome you if you are riddled with fear or panic, and you do not allow yourself to find yourself in that calm in the eye of the storm.
Thank you for sharing that. I see there's some people on Facebook, guys. Thank you for joining in. If you've got any questions for my guest or for myself, please type them through. And also tell us what were your key takeaways from this discussion. So, from what I just heard now, is that you need to be ready to do this work and also ask for help. Get professionals to help you. And it doesn't mean that professionals are going to do the work, it's you who's going to do most of the work, because they'll be guiding you, showing you your shadows and all that you need to work on. So you need to be ready, and you can have that peace and calm and not worrying about other things, and embracing life as it should be and as it should, and managing your fears and your limiting beliefs and everything happening around you. Okay, we also got Siviwe. Welcome, Siviwe. My further question is, why did you share this message? Why is it so important to you?
It's important because people don't want to change, but they want things to change, but they don't want to change. And we all know that we were conditioned to live in the past and to fear the future. Like, if something is not working for us right now, we would rather live in the past than confront what it is in this moment. So I don't live in the past anymore. I live in the moment and I plan. And if my plans don't work, I reroute. I change my navigation. Okay, what's not working? I reflect what's not working. And I allow myself to be accountable and responsible because there's no one else who's coming to save me but me. And the plans that I have and the dreams that I have, no one has an idea of how it makes me feel. So only I can make it work. And when I make it work, I need to have the right conversations with myself and bring in the right help if I need help. You know? But it comes with me leading my life than thinking that somebody else has to take care of it and the pain of it, because life life teaches us so many things that we don't want to learn, and we just think life is supposed to be this beautiful fairy tale, but the fairy tale that of what we allow it to be, we can enjoy the lessons and the pain of it all and the beauty of it all at the same time. That is why we have the seasons that we do. That is why we go through the changes that we do from infancy to old age. And that is why there is a process um, of laughter and tears and crying that is just so beautiful, because when you allow yourself to be in the moment when you cry, there is a moment of pain, of intense pain when you cry. It doesn't matter what the situation is, but when you cry because you've been hurt, there is a moment of intense pain that you go through. But after you cry, after you've cried, and there is you can somehow find a moment to laugh about what you are crying about without the pain. That for me is what life is. That magic balance between pain and joy, reflection and learning.
It's all about the magic balance between pain and joy. I love how you put it. It's so profound, and thank you for sharing that. And you said you're a coach, so what are the things that you're busy with so that people are aware of, and how can they get in touch with you?
So I'm a transformation life coach. So I am a negative emotional therapy practitioner. I in a conflict therapy practitioner, and all things life coaching. And the change that of what we specialize in terms of coaching, it's the learning and the unlearning that one is prepared to do with the work. So when you are unlearning uh, your belief systems, and when you're reflecting on the what's not working for you, how you would want to change it, it's not about the coach doing the work. It's about the work that you also do in reflection, the accountability, and also being honest with what you're willing to change for yourself to have better outcomes, because the perspective of where you're sitting and reframing that perspective to be a positive, to yield positive results for your life, that's what builds the relationship between me and my clients and what my clients are willing to do. And with breath work, it's also another modality of healing through breath and flowing through breath. And it's not about me being a healer. I'm not a healer. We are flowing through breath. Okay. So we're just using breath as another modality of healing. It's not about me, it's about how you connect with your breath. But I facilitate that connection with your breath for trauma healing, for self-discovery, or for regulation in terms of people with anxiety, people with insomnia, and so many, we use breath for so many reasons, and your reasons might be different, but breath will always be a way to flow through to find connection with yourself differently.
So how can people get in connection with you? How can they contact you?
My WhatsApp number 071-763-5489, or you can contact us on email at lerwesa@gmail.com. LERWESA@gmail.com.
So guys, do reach out to her if what she has mentioned resonates with you and your soul says, I need help. So, but also remember, you need to be ready to do the work. And it's about the choice that you make on a daily basis.
That's the most important.
So as you are about to end, any final words from you?
Just flow through breath. Just allow yourself to flow through with breath. Like when you are in the car and you're driving by the road, just observe your breath. Allow yourself to connect and observe your breath throughout the day, and you'll be amazed at the connection that you feel when you do. It's like a conversation that I had with a friend of mine. I was talking about breath, and she was like, it's like when you are conscious of your walk, when you are conscious of your walk, you walk differently, you become confident, and your steps are taken differently. So it's about us reminding ourselves to consciously connect with ourselves. And when we do that, that is where we let go and spill off little pieces of magic of ourselves wherever we find ourselves. And for me, I would say connect more with your breath, connect more with yourself, allow yourself moments of reflection to see how far you've come, to see whether the plan of where you're going is supported by where you are in the moment and how far you've come and where you would like to see yourself. Because when you do that, you would actually see that there is so much that you have accomplished. Other places of life might make you feel that you haven't achieved because you're comparing yourself to other people. But according to your track record, you might just find, hey girl, you have done some magical stuff, and be proud of those. Celebrate those. Celebrate your life. Celebrate yourself. There's no one else that's going to celebrate you. Like, your wins are your wins. You've planned them, you've put in the work, and you made it what it was, or you made it what it is. Celebrate yourself. There's no one else that's coming for you except for you. So when we wait for other people to affirm us, we forget who we are. And when we forget who we are, we don't show up the way that we are supposed to. But when we do celebrate ourselves, even with just with a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, and when you can make it as big as whatever you wanted to make it be. But don't define your celebrations according to other people's standards. Define yourself by your standards. That for me is the magic cherry on top of life.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And I've got a challenge to those who will be listening and to those who are with us on Facebook and on YouTube. So I challenge you just to write a letter to yourself. Write all the 50 wins that you have had in your life. It can be now or last year. Just write. And don't judge yourself, just start writing and you realize you'll have more than 50. If it's more than 50, just continue writing that. And when you're feeling down and you feel like life is not fair, people are not fair to you, go back to that paper that you have written and realize what you have achieved throughout the trials and tribulations that you are facing, because we always look at the 20%, which is the bad stuff, and forget the 80%, the beauty of
it.
Yeah. So go and do that. Write at least 50 things that are the wins that you've had in your life, and you realize you've been doing amazing things. You are just judging yourself unfairly. So do that, and also remember to connect with yourself and celebrate yourself. And if you feel like you cannot do all these things, reach out to a coach. Find someone or a mental health practitioner will assist you. And Lwandile has already shared the details. You can also reach out to me on 061 518 3208. But do something. Don't sit there with your misery. Do something. Life is so precious. She also mentioned about the breath, the life force that we have when we come to earth, and the life force that we lose when we leave this earth. And in between, we need to live this magic and understand and enjoy the beauty of it. So I challenge you guys to do that. And if you've got any other questions and you're just listening to this as a replay, guys, so if you've got questions, just type them through, tag us so that we can come back and respond and create those conversations. And we really appreciate you and the time that you've taken to be with us. And it doesn't end here. Up to now, we've done 21 conversations. Today, this is the 21st. We are left with the other two as we end the month of August. And happy Women's Month to all of you. So the next session will be on Tuesday, and I believe the other one is on Wednesday. That is where I get asked and be interviewed and be on the other end expressing myself, what is my message. But do tune in. I'll share on my timeline for you to set reminders and be part of this. And if you've got any questions, you can start type them through. You can also inbox me those questions so I can respond to you. Or if you feel like I need to speak about something on that day, let me know. So the ball is in your court. And remember, love yourself. Remember, God loves you so, so much. And we tend to forget that, and God is within us. And we just need to learn to connect with him and hear what he's saying to us. And also, Lwandile spoke about our intuition, that sixth sense that we've been given. Practice it. If you feel like it's failing you, you can reactivate it and listen and making sure that it's sharp. So everything is within your power. And if you can't do it, find someone who can assist you. So that's it from me. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. And if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe and share so that someone can receive this message. And if you're on Facebook, share on your timeline. The message might be someone within your timeline. To you might not be making sense, but just click the share button, because we want to create that awareness. Because when we're aware, there is that transformation that happens. It's what she mentioned as well, the unpeeling of the onion, so that we can discover the magic within that onion. Yeah. Anything else before I close? Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We are just how many days? 3 days away from the end of August, and I trust you are well and take good care of yourself. And one thing which was mentioned throughout is to plan. So Sundays are normally for planning, and for others it's Monday. So do plan your week and be intentional in terms of your plan and what you want to achieve. because no one is going to save you, only yourself. So make the right decisions and the right choices and live with the consequences of whether that decision is correct or wrong in your eyes. So just be kind and be intentional. Thank you. Bye-bye.